Hello everyone, the Lord Mary here, and in this video we will learn about the external carotid artery and its branches. From the left ventricle of the heart, as you can see over here where the left ventricle starts one major artery known as the aorta. Now aorta has three main branches. So this is the left side of the aorta, this is the right side of the aorta. On the left, aorta gives off the first branch which forms the subclavian artery, and that too is the left subclavian. Then forms the left common carotid, and finally forms the right brachiocephalic. This right brachiocephalic again divides into two parts. One is the common carotid and then the subclavian of the right side. So now we will be talking in details about this left common carotid, because from common carotid we will get the external carotid artery. Common carotid artery comes up over here, right? Then near the thyroid cartilage, it divides into the two branches. One is the external carotid, another one is the internal carotid. So it will be internal carotid and another one will be the external carotid. Right. Now from the external carotid over here, it gives off the first branch, external carotid, which is known as the superior thyroid artery. It is the superior thyroid artery. Right. Then the external carotid moves upwards, and just below the mandible it gives off another branch. Right. This branch goes below the mandible and this is known as the lingual artery. Right. After that it moves up again, and then it gives off another branch which goes behind the mandible and comes out of the mandible and supplies the entire area of the face. This is known as the facial artery, right? Then the external carotid artery moves again further upwards, and just behind the ramus of the mandible it gives off another branch over here which goes in. This branch goes directly inside, and this branch is known as the maxillary artery. This branch over here is known as the maxillary artery. Then this maxillary artery forms the terminal branch which is known as the superficial temporal artery. This is known as the superficial temporal artery. Right. At the same point of time, it gives off another artery known as posterior auricular artery. Just behind the auricle, it gives off something known as the posterior auricular artery. This is the posterior auricular artery. And another branch it gives off which goes behind the mastoid and is known as the occipital artery. It starts from here, goes behind the mastoid and comes up over here like this. This is known as the occipital artery, right? And finally, one branch that we forgot to mention is another branch over just aside the lingual branch is known as the ascending pharyngeal artery. So now if we have to summarize the different branches of external carotid artery, then what happens? The external carotid artery is a branch of common carotid artery along with internal carotid artery. Now the first branch it gives off is superior thyroid artery, then it gives off lingual artery, then just behind the lingual artery it gives off the third branch which is the ascending pharyngeal artery, then it ascends again and this gives off this branch which is the facial artery, which is the fourth one. After facial artery it gives off something known as the maxillary artery, which is the fifth branch. Then after maxillary artery it gives off the superficial temporal, which is the sixth branch. Then it gives off something known as the posterior auricular artery, which is the seventh branch, and finally the occipital artery, which is the eighth branch. So there are in total 8 branches of external carotid artery. I hope you have understood this video well. If you have understood this video, please hit the like button, share this video among your friends and peers of medical school, and for more such amazing content, do hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon and set the notification to all. Until then, bye bye. See you in the next one.